let's call the meeting to order and say the pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Patty, would you call the roll, please?
Debbie? Here. Dave?
Here.
Carolyn? Gary?
Here.
Joe?
Here.
Okay, visitors, do we have any visitors tonight? Couple? Yep. From, can I ask?
Dave from MSA.
MSA, and who else? Anybody
Dan
else?
Doyle from Farner Asphalt.
From Farner Asphalt?
Farner
Okay.
Asphalt.
Thank you. Any other guests? Comments from the audience? Yes?
Paul Mansell, M212 Main Street. I see on the agenda, I guess it isn't on there. Yes. The clerk's office for a copier, printer, computer software, where's that money coming from? There was $1,000 in this year's budget for the clerk's office.
That's going to be under consideration by the board. Any other comments from the audience? Let's get the minutes out of the way and then we'll go to change the agenda a little bit. Does the board have copies of the February 8th and February 22nd board meetings?
Yes.
I will need a motion to approve those minutes. Take them one at a time, please.
Make a motion we approve the February 8th minutes
Is there-
town board.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the board minutes of February 8th, 2016. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I got, the thing from the fire department,
Yes.
I got a call, them using their equipment in the buildings and stuff. I really don't have a problem myself, but supposedly we got an ordinance, 67.6, it says it can't be done. So, we're gonna have to either amend the ordinance or do something with it.
And that was in relation to,
That was one of the SOPs for the fire department, the one that we passed.
116, which was passed last
Yeah.
month.
Right, it's in the ordinances that if we let the fire department use it, we gotta let the public use it. So we are either gonna have to make some changes somewhere along the line.
I wasn't aware of the ordinance, and I was made aware of it, and I checked it on our website,
Okay.
and
What's the board want to do with that one?
Put it on the agenda for next month's discussion, I guess. Figure out what we wanna do.
Yes.
Okay. With any other comments on the board minutes for the 8th of February? If not, call the roll.
Deb? Aye. Dave?
Aye.
Gary? Joe?
Aye.
Board minutes of the joint board and plan commission meeting the 22nd of February are in front of you. Is there a motion to accept those?
I'll make a motion to accept the February 22nd, 16 minutes.
Second?
Presented.
I'll second that.
Motion by Deb, second by Gary to approve the board and plan commission minutes of the 22nd of February. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Call the roll, excuse me.
I thought we were gonna hurry through this. I was gonna go, okay. Deb? Aye. Dave?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Joe?
Abstain.
Abstain. One abstention, 3 ayes. Motion is carried. Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to go to new business? We have MSA is here.
I'll make the motion to move the agenda around to new business.
Second to that?
Second.
Motion made to move the agenda. We'll take the new business with Master Professional Services Agreement with MSA. Would you like to address the board?
I can address any questions. Obviously, MSA has been asked during the planning commission to kind of go over the CIP plan and kind of talk about the checklist. Obviously, two different items. The master service agreement, all it is basically saying, okay, we agree that we're going to come into a contract at a point in time. We're going to have the CIP, the checklist, 5 different other things that may come down the list as far as items that we want to have MSA take care of. But ultimately, it could be 0, it could be 5, it could be whatever tasks you happen to have for that particular period.
Is that the paper?
Yep, here it is.
Oh, I've got a couple extra copies if Carol did not make enough. Well, I got a couple.
Yeah, that's okay.
And like I said, we would definitely, for like the modified, or to modify the CIP plan or to go over the checklist, we'll give you an estimate as to how much that's gonna be, either a per hour or a lump sum fee or whatever else. And
And the term that we're signing for is a year?
I believe so, yes. That was one last question I had that I didn't get answered, unfortunately, so.
It says in here.
1 year, it says.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't have what this is gonna cost us.
There is no cost estimate for the service agreement. It's just an open-ended contract that will say,
Okay.
okay, hey, we want to create this checklist for our subdivision, and I'll say, okay, it's gonna cost, I'm just gonna throw a number out there, $1 or whatever it happens to be. That contract, that's basically a task order that's signed to say, yeah, we authorize the checklist work that you're gonna propose. We're gonna scope it out and say exactly what we're gonna include. Or you can say, no, we're not interested, or, like I said, 0, if you guys do 0 tasks, then, it doesn't cost you a thing. The one added benefit for the service agreement is that you get to see me twice, once in the spring when the grants are usually coming out to say, okay, here's the new grants that you may be eligible and interested in, and then in fall when the budget comes around, obviously, that, if you have any questions on things that need to be done, I would, or you can look at it, as saying, I don't want to see it twice a year, that's whatever that happens to be. But that's just kind of a bonus to the service agreement, but that doesn't cost you anything. You just get to see me twice a year for those particular instances.
In the term of agreement, it says there's an attachment A rate schedule which will be updated April 1st on an annual basis.
Was that included in that or not?
This one?
Attachment A, there's one.
Oh, there's one there. I may not have printed that,
Oh,
or it's maybe not.
It was on the last
I didn't get
page.
one, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You wanna see it quick?
No, just want to make sure we have one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's one. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to authorize this agreement.
Is there a second?
A second.
Motion made and seconded to sign an agreement with the Master Professional Services with the city of, oops, this one says Village of Curtis.
Curtis, yeah.
Did I print the wrong one?
It's got some, this agreement is made on February 22nd by between Todd McMillan, owner, and MSA. But on top it says Village of Curtis and MSA Professionals.
Oh, yeah.
Shame on me. You can slap my hand here if you.
And you also got the wrong clerk listed.
Yeah.
When I handed that off, that was right, that was the clerk at the time, yes, so I apologize, but we can modify this as need be when Carol gets back from her
So all this is
air-conditioned
saying-
vacation.
All this is saying basically is that we're gonna use your services if we need them.
Correct.
Okay.
This is not signing up for any, specific service or anything like that. That would come later as a task order to say, hey, we want to modify our CIP, we want to, do a subdivision checklist. We want you guys out here inspecting when this subdivider comes out and builds this particular subdivision, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. So you feel comfortable signing this, or what do you wanna do, board?
Well, this be Carolyn, I'm guessing, and the clerk, and I'll get you new copies that have the correct clerk and the correct village.
There's a motion and a second, we have to act on it. Any further discussion? Call for the question.
Aye. Dave,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Joe.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Okay, with the corrections, and then you get that back to us.
I will do that.
Okay,
All right, thank you very much.
thank you. Did Farner want to say anything, or?
If I wasn't on the agenda, I thought I was making onto the agenda. I called about a month ago. But if you don't want me to speak, since it's not on the agenda, that's fine.
Agenda. There's nothing here that I know. Who did you call?
I thought I called the clerk about a month ago.
You talk to a guy or a gal?
I think I talked to a guy.
Okay.
Off the hook, huh?
We
Drop the hook.
gotta change it, clerks, I'm sorry. Okay. But we are, gonna advertise for bids,
Okay.
okay? So that should be in the publications, and that'll be for, calcium chloride, road materials, base course aggregate, and crack filling.
So you're not doing any chip sealing or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't think you've done any chip sealing for years and years and years, have you?
For quite a few years. We did
Okay.
some about, over in, west of St. Joe's. What was that done? At least 3 years ago, probably, we did chip sealing over there.
Did you have Don Yagi doing it then?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
That was the last we had. Whatever you were in and did it last, that's the last time we had it.
Okay. 'Cause
Okay.
I didn't remember us doing. I know I've been with Farner for 20 years, so I've been on your roads crack filling. I've walked on your roads probably
Okay.
10 times over the last 20 years, so
Okay.
I've been on all of them crack filling, but I never had noticed you guys chip sealing any of them. You know, he didn't mention that to me at all.
Okay. That was the last time that I'm aware of.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Let's go into our reports. Plan Commission, anybody here for John Bajowski? Fire Department report. Did everybody get an annual report in the mailbox? And also the report for the month. The chief has gone to Wassa, it's Mavis training, and the EMS director is also there for mass casualty, so they aren't with us tonight, but you do have a report in front of you. Anybody from the library?
Jude, you want us to read that to
Sure, if you want.
people out there?
Fire Department report for the town board, 3/14/2016. Number of calls to date, EMS, none to report. Fire calls, we had none to report since last month, and we had one mutual aid with Stratford for a structure fire. There are new applicants to the department. We'd like to welcome Nicole Vilas to the department as probationary member. Travis Patton has been voted on as a full-time member to the department, is off probation. The department is currently upgrading the accountability system for firefighters, personnel that are working on the ground, that are working in the fire ground. Just as a reminder to the board, we are entering another burning permit season. The fire chief or a designee is the only one that can issue permits. The town clerk cannot. So please, if you have someone asking about a burning permit, give them the station number, which is 389-2067, or the officer in charge, 715-650 0255. EMS update, the EMS group has added another EMT to the roster. Welcome her to the group, and we'll be working with her to learn where everything is and on the first responder vehicle and in the station. And that was filed yesterday. No, actually today, 3/14. Anybody would like to look at a report, the annual report is here. I'd like my copy back though. Library, Luke is not here.
Are they coming with me?
Yeah.
Isn't it Peter? I didn't see the
That's why
obituary.
what Thursday.
Yeah, I knew he died, but I didn't know, I didn't see the obituary in the paper at all. Huh?
It wasn't in today's.
No.
No. I didn't. Okay, garbage and recycling meeting is the 16th. I'll be attending that. Anything on, any questions on, well, there's newsletter here, all articles for the newsletter in?
No. I forgot.
Well, after you called me the other day and you sent the email out to remind everyone and then you forgot.
I totally forgot.
Joe wasn't in today, he said he's got it at work, so he's.
Yeah, mine does, but I
He's
didn't
gonna
get it
email
printed,
it
so I'll
to me.
get it here tomorrow.
So what the latest, Joe?
Carolyn emailed hers, it's on her computer.
Okay.
Just came in.
I got hers.
Oh.
She left one in the, but Rod told me today that he emailed his to her, and then she was gonna email it to me, but
Well, maybe this is an update for you.
I looked, oh, okay. Well, I'll look when I get home again, but I looked before I came and,
Can we talk about the labels for the newsletter now that we're talking about the newsletter?
Gary and I just briefly did before. Go ahead.
The newsletter, the way it's set up is it's set up to print in Word. And I think what I would suggest the board does is contact the county and get another listing of the property owners from the land records department. They can send it to you in a different format so that it's searchable. You can figure out if there's any duplicates in it and start your list from scratch, because the way that it's printed right now, to update this list, they've just gone in and deleted a label. So it prints a empty label in the middle of a sheet,
Yep.
and your labels cost you enough. You only get 30 labels to a sheet. And once you do that, it might be another option to get in touch with ODC, because they can work off of a document that's not a labels document and put it into their system when they're printing, and they don't print the newsletter, correct?
no, not currently. I wasn't aware that they could till you told me. Right now, Speedy Print and Rod thought they alternated between Speedy Print and Heinsohn.
Yeah.
But I know Speedy Print did it last fall, and that's where Carolyn left me the note to take it to Speedy Print. And then we run off the labels here and then take the printed ones out to ODC, and they must fold them and tape them and put the labels on and then mail them. Now, Dave and I were just talking that we do have an updated list from Garvish every year. Maybe we could get that list and use that. That goes to every resident in the township.
Yeah.
And that can be gotten from the county because that's a special assessment.
The special assessment list.
That might be a
Might
more
be.
current list.
Get it off, yeah.
Does that include landowners that aren't residents?
Okay, taxes.
The garbage, I don't,
Probably
probably
wouldn't
not.
be on the
But if you-
garbage end of it, but
No.
the county.
Just
Because you wanna have them included on the newsletter,
Mhm.
Right.
landowners that aren't residents.
And there might be a charge from the county too. Typically, if they can email you something, they won't charge you for the record. But if, it might be a large enough list, or it might take some labor to create it, that maybe they would charge.
Could you check on that for us?
But if they
It'd
only
be
go land
easy
and
to
put a house
update
on
them.
it.
A lot easier
Get one.
than what it is right now, is you're not wasting.
But they'll have their home address.
Okay.
What I sent out to my,
for election, the labels had the home addresses of the people that own land in, you know, like somebody from Stratford
Right,
had an address.
right.
Stratford
I did too, and
address.
I just didn't send him, because they put them out already.
But they should get the newsletter, because they own land here,
Mhm.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they should.
And with the report that you get from from the county, you can double check it
Okay.
and run one list against the other and find out if there's duplicates and remove them, and you're not adding printing costs for,
Sure.
so I'll check on both lists.
Okay,
Steve isn't here, and I thought they were going over the garbage list just in December when I was in here one time.
I thought Steve was in his office.
He is.
Oh,
he's
he
here.
is in there. I mean, he might, if it was that, he might have a current.
Mhm.
okay, anything else for garbage ordinances or newsletter?
Just, I know what I gotta do for the newsletter, all I gotta do is get everything. I found out their timelines,
Okay,
and
highway,
I'm looking to send that out the last week
Pretty soon.
of March.
I'd like to get them out actually the 25th, or the no later than the 20th. And I am gonna, put a thing in there reminding voters that they have to have an ID.
Yep.
And I don't know if anything else you can think of that have to go in there.
Patty, you got anything from the clerk's office that needs to go in there? You should with the voting coming up.
Just the voter ID, that's the
Mhm.
most important thing. That was what I talked to him today about. There's a document that the GAB just updated because they changed the law on the voter ID that shows all acceptable forms of voter ID, but it's in color. Do you print the newsletter in color?
Yeah, because she
Wasn't
said
there,
that it won't work.
wasn't there the display though at primary that showed the different colors?
Yeah.
That's acceptable? Okay.
Yeah, but they just put, actually tomorrow they're gonna change the law and it goes into effect the day after, which affects primary.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Highway, got some breakups on some roads, gonna be interesting. They're posted. Anybody sees somebody on a road that you don't think should be on it, which I did today, and called on it. Apparently, signs don't mean a thing to some people. There's still semis and dump trucks and everything going across the Stone Bridge. I see that. I've called a couple times, so. Huh?
Once they go through.
Once they go through, they bought it, then we're scot-free. Out of their pocket, I think. Okay. Any other questions from anybody else? Deb, buildings and grounds and website.
Got nothing. I'm good.
You're good. Joe? IOH?
On the
permits,
IOH,
town hall?
IOH permits, I've got something that's going in the newsletter,
Okay.
and, I've been updating myself on what the new regulations are. I think I got a pretty good handle on it now, and, just gonna see if people are gonna get me the information. So far, I've had no requests of any kind for any permits.
I happen to be in another town south of the county line, and there they have permits. They had something with IOH. I didn't stop to look at it because as I drove by.
Where'd they have it?
It was in the township south.
I mean, what did you see?
They were attached to a stop sign, which I don't think is the correct place to put them in, but that's where they were. But it said IOH, something, regulations are in force or whatever. And I will take a look at that next time I go through there. But it isn't too far south either, but,
But that's just another sign somebody has to ignore.
that's true.
No, I think by getting what I'm putting in the newsletter, it's gonna maybe bring a few people to
Right.
think about what they're gonna be doing. And at least call me, I got my information in there to get in touch with me if they got any questions about it.
That's if they read it.
If they read the newsletter, yeah.
Okay, anything else, Joe?
No,
Gary?
No, nothing, working on a new letter, nothing, we haven't done anything with the hall, which I'm sure pretty soon now.
yeah.
Is Steve coming back here?
Yep.
Okay,
So we're gonna
let's,
move on.
let's skip to the unfinished business. Anything else from any supervisors on reports or questions? Unfinished business, we have to approve or disapprove a liquor license for Belvedere Supper Club LLC. We have to reissue a 6-month liquor license because the provisional one was given incorrectly, correct?
That's correct.
And then he has to reapply in 6 months?
He will reapply when this will expire June 30th, 2016.
I thought we did that already.
That was a provisional, remember?
Yeah, but we did that, and then I thought we did that after that, didn't we?
It was on the agenda, but it was tabled because
Okay.
there was no response to the notification of publication.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah, we tabled it because we said it was still good, we knew we had to do something at this meeting.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Did he come in and fill the paperwork out?
Yes. There's, I have the application and the 6 month is a 50% cost. So his provisional, which was issued incorrectly, he actually paid the full price for the full liquor license. He shouldn't have gotten a provisional because it was a transfer of the business back to Dale Level DBA Belvedere. So he should have been issued a 6-month license at $50 for the beer and the liquor and the $20 publication fee. So you're not refunding the publication fee, but you could refund 50% of the license because even a provisional is not a full price
Mm-hmm.
license according to the code of ordinances and the licensing. So he actually paid $50 more than he needed to pay for a license that will expire on Wednesday instead of expiring on June 30th when it showed.
He paid what, 100
Yes,
and 20 for the posting,
for the publication, yeah.
for publication?
Yep.
Okay.
And the refund check to him is listed in your checks, if it's approved, for $50, because the beer is 50 and they call it intoxicating substance, but the alcohol is 50. And then you still have the $20 expense for the publication because you have to publish it, even though there's a transfer to see if there's any outstanding debt before you can issue the license.
Okay.
There's no outstanding debt, but you should have gotten the 6 month. And the 6 month is not renewable within a year, which means when the expiration on July 30th, he's applying for a whole new license for the whole new year that starts July 1st and goes through June 30th of 2017.
So what we're issuing him now is till the 30th of June.
June 2016.
Yeah, see, we were
Well,
told that
but
he,
this is you said it's a 6 month starting, when does it start?
Actually, it's going to be from now to the end of June 30th, that's what it is.
His application date was January 16th of 2016. That should have been the 6 month, but it was issued as a provisional, which is only a 2 month
Mhm.
license. So he should have actually had the license issued at the end of January as a 6 month rather than a provisional because he didn't fit the criteria for the provisional.
Okay.
but we were told that he needed that license right away, and we couldn't issue him the other license
Mm-hmm.
for a period of time, and so we had to issue him the provisional one first so he could start operating his business right away. And then, because he wanted to start right away, he didn't want to wait till the time period to get his regular license.
I don't understand.
That's what we were told.
You would have had to wait for a board meeting,
No, what?
Yes,
you know,
Yes.
so. And posting and all that good stuff.
'Cause
So
we had to make
that's why
sure-
we issued the provisional. So he could open up right away. Go from just one person to the
Right,
next person.
because we didn't
and be
know if
done.
the other guy was gonna relinquish his license
Yeah,
so that he could get it. That's why we had to issue that provisional license. He needed it right away, and he didn't wanna wait till we found out that that guy was gonna turn his license in. So that's why we were told we had to give him a provisional. And then when that guy surrendered his other one,
because you can't have two licenses
Then
in
he-
the same place.
right, he had to take that for, until it ran out in June.
But it didn't.
Well, we knew that he was gonna have to get another license now,
Mhm.
because it was good, but the date should be now, because the provisional was supposed to take him through this first 2 months up till now.
Provisional will take him through until Wednesday on the 16th. But when I called the Department of Revenue, they said the provisional shouldn't have gone through, it should have been a 6-month, so.
But the problem was we couldn't issue a
Right.
6-month at that time.
Right, because of the other
We didn't have the authority to do that.
The other
We
transfer.
were told we had the authority to give him a provisional,
Right,
whether we did or not.
because there was still a license out there, that's why.
That's how that happened. But right now, we need to give him, basically give him
A license till under
a
June.
license, whether it's, well, if it's 6 months, it'll go past June,
No, we don't want to do that, we just
but,
want to.
but he's gonna get a renewed,
Mhm,
he's gonna get a new one the 1st of July,
right.
in the regular schedule.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the liquor license for Belvedere Supper Club to expire as of June 30th, 2016.
Fred, motion, is there a second to that?
Second that.
Second by Gary. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Deb?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Motion is carried. You want us to sign that now?
Make sure you don't sign it.
Chair will? Or do
I
you?
just stamped it and then, yeah, stamp it with the thing and then I sign.
Motion, ask for a motion to submit bids in the publication for calcium chloride, base course, aggregate, crack filling, and chip sealing. We might as well see what we get, and see how far we can get. At least we'll advertise for them. We have the ability to accept or reject any or all bids. Yeah. And I'll make that as a form of motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to call, advertise for bids for calcium chloride, road materials, base course, aggregate, crack filling, and chip sealing. I'm gonna call for the roll, please.
Deb?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Okay. Next agenda item is the clerk's office equipment, and that, we talked about this for some time, I guess, upgrading, problems with the printer. Does the fax work?
No.
Fax doesn't work?
The fax was hit by lightning. The copier, is so out of date that they can't get parts to even fix what's wrong with it
That
now.
old, that big one?
Yeah. And the little desktop printer, the fax is out and it just prints really poor. It's got like, even after I've reset it 5 times, it's got a shadow to it and you can't print anything out. I mean, you get dizzy looking at the stuff. The computer and the software was just a update. It looks like that computer that's in there now is, from 2005. And the software is, I ran the serial number on it, it's the model is 2005, that may not be when you got it.
We got it when Jeff was here.
You got me.
So that's gotta be within, well, when was Jeff here? I think it was like the last year that he was here, so that's gotta be within,
The last year he was
2 years,
here,
what?
it's only 2 years, not even
or the
2.
year, that was within the last couple of years that he
No,
was,
3.
yeah.
So it could be 15, so.
It doesn't have to be thrown away, it just needs to be updated and
Okay.
cleaned up. It's got expired, antivirus on it, it's got all kinds of weird stuff coming in on the email that looks spammy to it.
That, antivirus that they have on there, they just never renewed it, or what?
Yeah. I don't know if it was done with Denise's personal
Mm-hmm.
credit card when she was there, or how it was done, but it was never
Never updated.
updated. And,
We need it tomorrow, we need it by next month, or when?
you don't need it tomorrow, it's just, I wanted to bring it to your attention and start a discussion on it. The copier, the biggest hassle with the copier is at 10:30 at night on election night, because if there's a school district on the ballot, then you have to make copies for each and every school district, and your poll book is over 100 pages, and that copy machine will get to 10 and stop.
Hmm.
And they,
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason we had one that size.
Well, the one that I have at home, I think it was $300, I've had it for 3-4 years already, and I run cases of paper through that thing, and I don't have an issue.
even a little desktop one that you don't have to take individual sheets and run it through individually.
Right,
You know, if you could take 20 sheets at a time, it's
well, I
better
can take
than,
a stack and put it loaded, and I got it,
Better than
actually mine is
taking-
double, so I got the top and the bottom, so I can put over a ring in there at a time.
and doing your poll book at one sheet at a time just gives you room for error. And that's one thing you don't wanna make a mistake on.
So we need a new printer. As far as that big one, I don't think we need one that big anymore. Like,
How'd you two ladies like to get together, since you're
it ain't gonna be till May.
April 5th.
I got tax season now. After the 15th, I can, for about 4 days, that's it.
would that work?
Yeah, I mean, we can look into it, or we'll just take them to, Office Max till then. There's, Bauer and Fine was supposed to have, estimate on replacing or leasing or the
The big
least
one.
expensive option for it. And he mentioned networking and getting a desktop printer that looks like a walk-up copier, and I said, send me a quote with some prices on it so I can give it to the board, and he called, and I called him back and emailed him, and I haven't seen anything, so, I mean, it's just,
Sure your email went through?
no, I'm not. Telling you there are issues.
Okay.
You could probably take that computer down to PC Doctors, or I always go to Northside
Northside,
Computers.
yeah.
I like them.
Okay.
Load it up, take it down, or tell them fix it and upgrade it.
Just don't erase
Okay
anything.
with you guys?
Huh?
Needs to be
Just
done.
don't erase anything.
No, they won't.
No, that's gonna get backed up on another drive just
It's all backed up,
because it
so it should be
scares me.
good. But,
That's, I backed everything up on the external drive, but
huh?
Just work to the lines.
Yeah. We could lose it just the way it is right now,
Yeah.
you know, unfortunately. And if, have them update the software too. I don't know, what do they have on there?
2010,
What's the name of it?
well, Office 2010, but there's, somebody went in and messed with the Outlook, so Outlook doesn't work correctly. Some of the files are missing, the folders are missing.
What does, security software,
Casper's,
what's it called?
B2B.
Callis? Tell them get something decent on there.
yeah, something other than that,
Kerpaski, I believe, is the name you're looking for.
that's it.
I never heard of it, did you?
I have.
Is it good?
It's probably third on my list, but it's,
What's your top two?
it would be either McAfee or Norton.
Yeah, I got Norton at home. You like Norton too? Okay,
Okay.
we like Norton. Joe?
Trendy.
Huh?
Trend is.
Ah, never heard of it.
I am an advisor, that's what I give it.
No,
discussion on the clerk's office equipment? We can go back up to approval of checks and a financial report for the clerk and treasurer.
You need your stuff updated too?
Computer-wise,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have Outlook, and we should have the same version of QuickBooks.
That would be really nice.
Why
Oh,
don't
I
you?
believe that would
Because
go.
I believe they were purchased at different times.
Probably.
Yeah, but you can buy an extra key for them where you just put it on the same software on another computer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Do we need to,
How old is our
Let them go
QuickBooks
ahead.
on there? What is that, a couple, going on?
The clerks is 2014, I think,
Okay, so that's gonna be running out.
I think I've
anyway.
got 13.
Yours
and yours is
gonna
even
be-
older.
Yeah.
Probably need to upgrade both of them anyway.
I looked into, QuickBooks Online with Payroll Plus, and that's gonna run about $850 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's something you guys.
What is the
wanna do.
payroll run right now?
Payroll is anywhere, depending on the number of checks you run, from 21, and I think the highest I've seen is 101. It all depends on the number of checks run through, it changes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're spending 5 times that amount in just reconciling the various chart of accounts, or chart of accounts to not
Well, that too, because whoever keyed in QuickBooks on the treasurer's computer and whoever keyed it in on the clerk's computer used different names, account names, and on.
They didn't use the same chart of accounts?
No. It's a nightmare.
Well, you guys are getting paid, fix it.
We have permission to spend $850.
No, you don't need $850. I think what you need to do, instead of paying for 2 subscriptions online, is just get the one, put it on both computers, because, you know, you can, I just bought a new, QuickBooks and put it on mine, it was $400, it's usually good for 3 years, and I can do everything. Mine's the accountant's edition, though. You probably don't need that much.
We didn't have a motion on the floor, did we?
No, but I think we're kind of discussing whether we want to do 2 online QuickBooks. So then you're talking 16. You know, it's not going to be
No,
just
no,
one subscription.
$850, you can
Per-
have 5 users,
Okay,
and you can keep the clerk and the treasurer books separate with the logins.
But it would be the same general ledger.
yeah, you're still
Same
working
chart
out the
of
same.
accounts.
Okay, I would be locked out of your checks and payroll, you would be locked out of my cash receipts, but everything flows into the same general ledger, would probably save about 200 hours a year.
And when we do our reconciliation, we're working off of the same
There
accounts
won't
and
be
the
any
same numbers.
reconciliation other than the cash.
Right.
We'll put it on for next month's agenda.
Okay.
Take a look at it, get us some numbers for that, will you please? Compared to what we have now.
I'm not even sure why we're spending money on QuickBooks monthly and annually. It's got something to do with the payroll, but we don't use whatever they're offering us.
See, mine at home, I buy QuickBooks, but I buy it like every 4 years for an updated version, okay? And my payroll, I can do up to 50 businesses
Okay,
without paying for each employee, I just do them all.
I'm not sure what we're getting for what we're spending.
I don't have the invoice, but I know we just paid it.
It's like $300 in December, and it's like $20 or $30 at least every month.
Yeah, and it was 101.28 in February.
To the best of my knowledge, what we're buying is an invoice.
Well, I think when they sign that up, you know, you have to pay for each employee's check that you figure. I think it's up to 3 or whatever you get with,
On QuickBooks, you have to pay per,
well, I think that's what Denise ended up setting up with that.
Is that the Intuit, 10128?
Yep.
Are there tax tables in there?
Well, yeah, you can do basic too, I mean, you can figure the payroll yourself on there. I mean, if you just went with the basic and then do your own liabilities and employment, I mean, that's not rocket science anyway.
With a calculator type,
Yeah, you can do it that way too.
but they don't have tax tables in?
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Well, mine does, I shouldn't say that, I don't know what she's
I
got
haven't
there.
seen her in there.
Well, you go to IRS or Department of Revenue for tax tables too,
Mhm.
you know, so that's not an issue.
Okay, any further discussion?
You're on
Does she need to get a copy of her printer before our next meeting?
She said no.
It would be nice, but no. We can- we
Because
can-
I thought you said you'd like to have one by vote, in case you need it on voting night?
Well, we will need it on voting night because you've got, Spencer's got a referendum on the ballot.
So strange.
Because we're not gonna have a meeting before then.
Does the fire
Well, then-
department have a copier?
Nothing that would handle.
Have one handle it?
That's kind of one sheet at a time too over there.
And split it up and divide it up between the two that night day after?
Oh, didn't we have some in the budget for a printer anyway?
I believe we
Thought
got
we
it.
did.
I thought it was up to 400 or whatever it was. Wasn't it?
Probably all in the budget for office equipment.
Somebody want to make a motion to get the printer? If she would
Yeah,
like
we
to
need
do
to know
that.
how much money we can spend.
Right, up to whatever.
We'll go shopping, are you gonna be around tomorrow?
Later in the afternoon.
Fine with me, call me when you're ready to go.
Okay.
We'll go down and at least look at them and see what they got. and-
So you want a motion to
I
expand?
want to make a motion so that Patty and I can go shopping tomorrow for a new printer.
We better put a limit on this. Limit shopping.
Whoa.
I'm not
I
sure.
remember that Gary said everything.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion made and seconded to let Deb and Patty check out a printer tomorrow.
No, buy a printer
Buy a
tomorrow.
printer tomorrow.
We need it for our election, we'll have to get it.
Okay, for discussion, we need to put the
A dollar amount?
dollar amount. Or do we just expect you're gonna do the best job you can?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. George, what's she gonna
Does
do?
that include lunch, Patty?
I don't know if you're buying it.
I'm going along.
Okay. Try to keep it under $500 with ink and everything, hopefully.
That's really sad, because this printer has, they just bought ink.
Yeah, I would say if you can do one for under $500, then you should be authorized to go ahead and do that.
Okay, if it's gonna be over 500, how much over can we go? I'm thinking we're gonna be under 500 regardless, so,
I would think so.
because like I said, at mine, I paid, it was on sale for $2.99, and I can run paper through that like how long now. We can get something similar to that if they have anything. So, we'll go shopping, bring the checkbook.
Okay, all in favor of that motion after the discussion here?
Yeah.
Call for the roll.
Yeah.
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Gary,
I,
Joe?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, we got clerk and treasurer's report. Who wants to go first?
You're gonna want that.
I'll try to see you then.
I don't know, you can have them, but you can, it's tax-free, plus they can, you're all right, charge a card. Am I up?
Yep.
Okay. Checking account balance, end of January, $15,731.45, less the outstanding checks of $3387.71. Excuse me, that was the February 29th of the account.
Great.
No outstanding deposits, so it reconciled to $12,343.74. Tax savings account had $639,049.84. The CD had $20,109.67. Public Works replacement CD, $80,263.41. Park Fund savings account, $89,4945. And the volunteer firefighters, $33,126.09, for a grand total of $793,842.20.
Okay. For the treasurer's report,
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
second,
Second it.
any further discussion?
Deb,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye,
Gary,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
motion carried. Patty, clerk's report?
beginning balance is $1,610,968.79. Total receipts including transfers is $952,116.39. Total disbursements including transfers is $1,769,242.98 for an ending balance of $793,842.20. Your checklist in front of you includes checks 14007 through 14085, including electronic checks 81 through 85. Total of $967,784.13. This also includes the list of February settlement checks, which is also the list that you've been emailed if it looks like it's a duplicate.
I got a question. Up on top here, it's got 81. There's no amount.
That is correct. Ever since July of 2015, there's been an error in the payroll liabilities in the clerk's QuickBooks computer. Because
Ever since when?
July of 2015,
Okay.
and it fluctuated from $127.33 all the way down to $6.63, and it's pulling off of the way that the employees were entered.
Mm-hmm.
So in one case, they didn't click the checkbox for the SUDA, and the other case, they didn't click the checkbox for the FUTA.
Mm-hmm.
So you have some employees that are being charged when they're paid unemployment and they're not supposed to be, and then others that are, so.
How bad are our unemployment and all those forms? Have you looked at them?
We don't pay the unemployment taxes.
Yeah, we do on Pat and Ronnie, I believe, and Jean.
Only if there's a debit to the account because you're a municipality.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, all of those, I don't know about the unemployment records, but all of the records for the IRS and the Department of Revenue have been submitted timely,
Okay.
and all the payments have been made timely. The unemployment checks, or the unemployment submissions are on my list for this week to be confirmed, but I haven't seen anything in the mail either, which makes me think that they've done that. I just.
For unemployment, you should be able to sign in online,
Right,
so.
which is a matter of going through a notebook and trying to find the login, because there's nothing in alphabetical order. But the reason that this is $0 on that 81 is because we were trying to fix that in the records to get it to balance out, and it didn't.
Well, there's zero in there, so.
Yeah.
So the amount is zero.
The amount is 0, yeah,
Okay.
and it didn't go anywhere.
Any questions on the written checks?
I got a question on a couple of them. Bill Service Center, $474,
Check number.
14048. What was that for? service?
I think that's a chainsaw through a grant for the fire department.
That's what it is. 'Cause it just showed up this week. You guys wrote an DNR grant.
A lot of these are current.
So the DNR gave us money to buy saw for the fire department? Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
14052 for the city of Marshfield, 623
It's an ambulance call
ambulance call.
at Galvin in 97.
Okay,
Do we rebuild it to someone there?
right.
Well, you could, but in this case, probably not, because the fire department has been trying to get this paid since November.
Not a resident?
Correct.
Well,
No insurance or?
Found uncollectible and becomes a responsibility of the township. You could put it into the TRIP program, but this person doesn't have property in the town of McDonough. The
can
accident
we submit
occurred.
those, isn't there an account at the state we could submit those to? I thought I heard at one point in time.
The tax refund intercept program, the
That's
TRIP.
what- Okay.
Yeah.
No.
That was, 97 a gallon from November 7th of 2014.
So they could-
2014?
The accident was 2014.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's wild.
Yeah.
Date of call, time of call was 12:04 on 97 a gallon.
Probably one of those, we had 5 cars in 5 different places and a lot of trash between. Yeah.
About the farmway truck, 14056. Is that one of our trucks again?
It's the same one.
Oh, is that
Gary?
the fire department? No, that would be fire department. I
No.
know it.
No. That was brakes. Brakes went out on that one. The one we're trading, getting rid of.
You got it all rebuilt now.
Well, the farmway truck is, there's 2 different invoices. One is for 169.63. There was a HVAC issue and they had to remove the dash and replace the actuators. And the other, the engine light was on, they hooked it up to the computer, read the codes, found injector pressure sensor bad, changed the sensor, repaired the rubbed wires for the ambient sensor and tied the wiring up so it wouldn't rub on the engine compartment anymore. And then supplies,
To the tune of $1,623.
Well, that's-
well, that was $471, $480.
Where'd you guys, where did you take these trucks for repair?
Okay, mine over there.
Farmway, right down here, it's cheaper than Midstate. It is cheaper.
Mid-state? No,
It
Farmway.
is cheaper.
Here. Oh,
Here,
okay.
And
What were
he's
the
very
other
good
ones?
with international stuff. And he takes them right in and gets them out. Town of Lincoln takes theirs there, they've been stung.
Yeah, I'm just
The
curious.
other was the repairs to the fire truck.
Oh, okay, so this is split different. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a check for multiple trucks.
Multiple.
Multiple repairs.
Multiple repairs.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
There were 2 on the truck here, and then she said on the fire department truck, so.
Well, that one we're still working on, because we got sides that been mutually smashed the hood on tanker 2 and bumper, and so
I didn't know. Jesus
Well, they must have insurance to pay that.
it's been a hassle. Rodney's had to go to 4 different places to get an estimate.
We did get part of that.
Okay,
Part of that insurance claim was already paid,
okay,
but he has to work on the others.
okay. Any other
The
questions?
other was the plow truck, sorry.
Any other
Yeah,
questions?
1466 for Northway Communications for $1,063.
That's fire department,
Pagers,
pagers and communications, I think is the account for that. I had these in alphabetical order, what happened?
You only got one, yeah.
The orange way is easy, they're the ones that stick out. So the first one is, an FCC check on the pagers and repair of pagers. Repairs of pagers.
So if they owe us money, why are we writing them a check for $200 on 14071 to the Stratford Fire Department?
That is for training that took place in the month of February.
Oh, for that training that they did over there? Okay. And I take it the 14073 must be for some of the new tanks and
Yep.
gear that they had to get for
Yep.
$6,000.
that, I think, wasn't that, SCBA's had to be flow tested, right?
And plus, I think they had,
Yeah.
I think that their report he put on there, I think he mentioned they had to replace some of the tanks this year. That was for that.
X-Dock Master, X-Dock Modules, Single Pack Gas Regulator, Power Supply, PAC 550 CO Monitor.
I have a question for 14081, Department of Administration. What is it?
$50.
Yeah, it's only $50, but what
Is
is
that the 50 going back to level?
No, levels is something
No.
it?
about.
No, this is up above.
Yeah, no,
This
it
is-
ain't, yeah.
No, this is two
Yeah.
separate permits for Fall Fest, one for the 50/50 raffle renewal, which is $25, and the other is for the ticket raffle renewal at $25.
And we make that out to who?
Department of Administration, Department of Gaming.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I get rid of the memo, I'm done expand it.
Uh-huh.
Joe?
If you go to reports, you can custom.
That's why they used to have them here on Friday for Joe and I, and then I'd go in on Monday and
Yeah.
get some of these straightened out, so I didn't have to ask them during the meeting.
Okay, motion to approve the checks 14007 through 14085, along with the electronic transfers 81, 2, 3, 4, and 5, correct? 85?
Correct.
Any further discussion?
What was the starting number?
14007, kind of quarter of the way down the first page.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
I'll make that as a motion. Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
I had some discussion though for 81, we don't need to approve 81 because there was no dollar amount involved in that. So that doesn't need to be approved, there was nothing to go out, correct?
Correct.
I'll make that as an amendment. Would you second that, Joe?
Yes, eliminate 81 from that, 82 to 84.
Is there a reason why they don't come out
82 to
in
85.
numerical order?
The check numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, then 07 and that is after 22, that's why.
Well, we had approved those prior, remember, they didn't have the total amounts at that time?
We're starting out at 14007.
So for tonight, we're starting at, these were approved at the last meeting ahead of time, before they wrote the checks out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 14016 through 14022 were approved ahead of time.
Mhm.
Okay. So they aren't included in this approval, they've already been approved.
They've already been approved. Right.
Dave, you gonna amend that again?
We didn't include that, he went 14007, that's where he started.
That's where I started.
He didn't include those top ones.
14007, though, if we just talking numbers, we didn't.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
he did include 6222. Why don't we just approve it again and be done? There we go.
So you're asking me to call for questions.
There you go. We got checks in front of us. We
Okay.
go.
Hey, would you call the roll?
Dave, Deb,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Joe.
Aye.
And I'd like to make a motion to accept the clerk's report as presented.
I'll second that. Motion to accept the clerk's report and second, any further discussion? Call the roll.
Dave, Deb, aye, Dave,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Joe.
Aye.
Okay. Motion is carried. Anything else? We covered everything that was on the agenda. Want to sign checks tonight?
Yeah, they're ready.
They're ready, okay. Joe, can you sign?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second? Or seconded?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting's adjourned.
Okay, here's what Rob was talking about, 1388.
Good job, Dave.
Yeah.
What's that?
A little bit more.
All
All the notices here before, did you have a notice anywhere else?
Hey, right? Up on top of the, it's empty.